Zdravím všechny fanoušky Valorantu a samozřejmě těm, komu nestačili Masters. Tady máme EMEA Challengers, vyústění nejlepších tier 2 týmů, zdravím všechny na Twitchi, zdravím všechny na YouTube, kde se sbírají body do finálního postupu do tier 1. EP hrajou proti nejlepšímu tureckému týmu, který vyhráli celou jejich tureckou ligu a v Valorant Turecku je fakt jako popin. Tuhle ten tým byl druhý na Ascensionu minulý rok ve stejném složení a byli 2-3 prohra proti Apexu. Jako bych chtěl smrkat. Nic.
Into BBL Pacific. However, they're winning the fights. Enterprise have come right back into this round, taking
Enterprise swinging back
over it. A 2v1 spike dropped in the open, and Starkey's position should play
Zahlí ucho
well.
Pablitos do piči celý, od doby jsem se probudil. Vždycky mi to vadí, jak mám obě sluchátka na hlavě. Píšou nemoc silně, kámo. Jo, Moravákos.
Just repositioning back towards tree. Sure, you're going to give up the spike, but that's absolutely fine. You're not risking a horrific 1v1 duel that could easily be picked off.
Tak to je už na doktora, ale kámo. Moravákos dík na 4 tier 3. Resub. Díky. Intro subík. Díky, za dneska myslím, že mám volno, chat chlapi. Já myslím, že za to až večer. Možná fix. Trochu. Dobrá píčovina.
Yeah, great start from Jazz. Now, they do have a Rolling Thunder that can get them into this C-site. BBL Pacific are not out of this round just yet, but that is a sublime start. I mentioned it, that there are aspects of Comeback's gameplay that almost give me like reminiscent of Cine. Like, he's just going to go swinging into duels. He's going to go without utility, without support, and try and take those fights. And that's what this round has been. Graven trying exactly the same thing on the other side of the map with deep control. And
nice, Moravákos, to mám radost, kámo.
Coming in for Enterprise, and all they've really had to do is win their fights.
It's been a nice trade across the map from this side. Being able to take that deep control early, find that duel, catch the lurker coming up, not faked out by the over rotations we've seen in previous rounds. It did work out in just the last. And now Enterprise have a perfect setup to fight back in. 3 players on that attacking side, and already we're going to see Paranoia used. This does run the clock down somewhat and puts some more pressure on the other side. Rose just one away from that Hunter's Fury. Love the new graphic there, by the way. Rolling Thunder going to be put into play as well, buying them that little bit more pressure.
Super look, chceš permu? Už? Po poslední 2 dny, chceš tu 2 dny a 2 dny piješ sračky. Možná už si dal poslední kapku už pro mě.
The round falls into the hands of Enterprise nonetheless.
Of delay, but then also this
aggressive
initiated duelist combination.
Chtěl bych si, že EP podle toho kompu. Uvařili nový komp.
That's not a bad trade.
No, not at all. That's gotten a
on střílí tělíčko, ten hajzel. BBL fakt. Tak dobrý, že kámo EP uvařili komp, ale...
At least gets out of there with his life intact. For BBL Pacific, they started this with pennies, but now they're eating good. Zeke, though, stealing one back, making this doable. Presumably now, though, he'll just wait for Killaz for the retake. He wants to get that planter. That's a risk, and Comeback almost punishes it.
A single kill would get that Armageddon online. An ultimate that can pretty much clear the entirety of the backside for Teo, but he needs that kill first. That combination is perfect. Stun gives a freebie over to Comeback. For Killers now, a 1 versus 3. Economy not in the greatest of spots, but still believing he can take this one home.
Push forward. They've spotted Killaz as well. He is in a lot of trouble.
This seems to be the story of his game so far. Just every time he tries to maneuver into a better position, there is an aftershock coming through from Larocque, who has had a fantastic start to the game. And I agree with you. I think we're going to see Comeback get better and better, which when, at least going into this round, you're the top fragger on your team, it kind of says the caliber of duelist we're talking about. This guy is one of the hottest prospects, and with only now a few months until he's actually allowed to play in the league, still 17 years of age, I think there's definitely going to be eyes on this guy. Coming into this tournament, still opportunities, not a bad kill to come through onto Rose, but, well, again.
See the push into the B site be relatively unchallenged. It's an off angle by Viper that presumably we're going to see either smoked off or with a lot of pressure on. You're going to have those flashes coming out of Dome. It's whether they put Rolling Thunder in to start with. No, it's just straight up aggression. They want the duels and they'll take him here and now. Comeback for the double. This is more like it. A little double opener site taken and Op hungry for a little bit more. That's the triple on the board for comeback. He doesn't take criticism likely by the looks of things. Now he's warmed up. Comeback with the ace.
Ace, for
BBL. They have it, and certainly at the top level. Champs obviously have been here a long time, but BBL, the core of it at least, has been building up that experience over time, and it might not match pound for pound, but it might be enough. And what we're seeing here is off, and it really feels like BBL could have had a lights out start to this map. And the kind of close back and forth still results in what we're looking at now, which is a 5-2 scoreline, but also Doma hitting some beautiful shots there. More of that. Enterprise are going to be laughing. That's a good bit of economy punishment, albeit, you know, a drop in the ocean compared to what BBL are working with.
Chlapi 16:30 třeba. Hodil Agrel. Kódy na vod. Na storičko. 16:32 jsem to otevřel.
If we're all being honest, we think that one spot is going to BBL.
Ještě není neset, vole.
Even if you expect them to be on an even footing, the reality is
Tam hraje vypozad, tak prostě co to je.
The 2-0 is a guaranteed top spot in a group of 3, and here we've had a buy round for Enterprise, a chance that immediately saw them get destroyed. Doma, head ripped off, and now, okay, there's going to be a response, an ultimate that forces them back off the site, a pick for Yas. Starkey with another. This is on the road to recovery. At least it seemed that way. Low HP on the Cypher that remains, but the kill still flipped the other direction. It's only one standing. An operator in the hands of Yas with 2 players to find. Low HP might not matter. And the op picked up on the other side. It's whizzed right past his head. It might have caught his hat. There's comeback spotted already.
Vypa prostě, ten týpek hraje jenom vypa. By the way, jenom koukat tam. Čau zem do kybyku.
Gas is getting all of that information. Kreven up close though, they haven't cleared that angle. And with combination of LaRock, this is already falling apart. We spoke about it, and it now seems like exactly that. A flash in the pan, an attempt to break back into this game, and unless Killers has got the best play of the day.
Vypa prostě.
Increased for someone like Comeback, he only needs to hit you once and going down. Hell, probably he's getting 2 kills. Let's see. We just missed the opportunity. Kill has walked right past, and Yas catches the timing on site. This is a good start for Enterprise, but unfortunately Comeback is then found. One of the controllers down. They still have Viper. It's going to be a little bit more restricted in terms of what they can do. Yas with another nice shot. This time the rifle, the one picking off that kill flash. Spray gets there eventually, but he will be dropped for the 2v3.
Be careful. Try and use the
hobová omáčka. Dobře udělaná hobová omáčka, actually slepin. Actually mě tady profackovává, kámo.
The weaponry disadvantage is pretty big in this scenario. Needing to connect those shots, LaRock does it, and they're just fighting this one tooth and nail. They didn't even attempt to
play a bit more fast, a bit more aggressive. And so the response is to play up close, play on the smokes, play on the cages, catch them. Comeback is catching them. Oh, he's running it down into their spawn. Unbelievable. That's a second now found. And this guy just will not stop. If you didn't already come out of this half thinking BBL just looked like the better team, does that not highlight it for you? Comeback looks like he's smurfing right now.
Jako It's Teres měla Mafina na streamu, ale pičko, pošli.
With the best aim in the server. Someone else, I don't know, maybe Rose's nickname in game is like his Sova or something. I don't know. Just a pure support player at this stage. But you're gonna get the assist. So this guy, he's looking for his second ace. He's not even giving it up, just pushing all the way in.
Nah.
Come on. My goodness. And attempted what seems like a ruse going in over to the B site.
Imagine, kámo. Kdyby to byl comeback, tak tam pošle i ruku, ale ti říkám už.
I hate Durka. Every time I look at a decoy now, I have to triple check the map just to make sure that's the real one and not, well, and it's not the real one. Just walking it right in. Look at the completely lost their minds. And the A site, yeah, although they were spotted, they've waited quite a long time at this stage. So it's really anyone's guess where that play is coming in. BBL, they realize that, and they decide that A main aggression is the play. The door's been open.
Kámo, co to je? Jsou všichni, vole. Pět jich je tady. 5 Turků. Bez spajku. To bylo za stratu, jako. 5 rozběhli, kámo, na double. Co je? What?
No follow up though.
Oh, this is the thing. They've got 20
Co oni robí ty
seconds.
Pacific, kurva?
If the clock gets low, Kreven could even just run away, but well, let's be real, that's never gonna happen.
That's not their
They
style.
want to get these kills. They want to try and clear out these remaining players. And you know what? Actually, I take it back. Lorok has done just that. He's like, you know what? There is 0% chance of you winning this round because I'm in the spawn. You can go hunting for me.
Zjistěte mi, jak si zahrát Vampire Survivors. To byče mega dobrý to je, čo tak to je.
There are times where you must just feel hopeless, and when you're doing that, the 2 players who are at the bottom of the board are champions.
Jako Minky mi řekl, že hraje aktuálně na tom Rezinu, kterým jsem hrál 3 roky dozadu a už tenkrát to stíhalo a má to fakeový FPS. To bylo co si vysvětlovalo, kámo, že hraješ brokovnice. Brokovnice je jediný, s čím dokážeš vyhrát duel. Kámo, to ještě prohráli. To ještě prohráli to kolo. Nic, jdeme na fracture, kámo, já už to tady neto. Jakoby takhle, no. Kde to děláš s Judgem?
Enterprise. Let's hope there's something better on the next. It's even just he's using himself as a decoy at this stage, trying to get the IGL stats up a little bit, but it is going to be quickly over. It seems Starkey at least has managed to gain some ground, but again,
je nám to k něčemu to.
Player outside, a wraparound coming in from behind as well from Kreven, and while if it wasn't bad enough, it's now all left on to Killers, who does get one, but
ty blbek si, jestli to už někdy stalo těm Pacific, že někdo flankl z Bčka.
BBL Pacific keep on swinging full force. They're going to the bell. Enterprise.
Where's the ref?
Yeah, where's the ref? Someone put a stop to this, please. Rose got revealed inside that smoke, got 2 kills as a result. They couldn't even do damage until the round was basically done. Oh man.
Rozhodčí pískej
the table's been flipped, and for Enterprise, we said this is a BO3. They're gonna have to rely on Haven and Fracture. This one is done. Killes with an attempt to clutch this out in the 1v3, but the firing squad, 2 players waiting, and they saved the best.
No nic, reverse peep je tady. Že druhá mapa, pick od EP. Pome. Reverse sweep začíná teď. Oni hrajou stejný komp, BBL, ne? Tyva, je 13 životů, to je škoda. Comeback, kam jde? Kámo, on dá z první náboj zase hlavu, ale to je hnus. Nice.
Well, players spotted behind that box. They've got their targets.
Ne, kámo, se je tady.
Kill towards the spawn. BBL have space.
Kolik platí jako tier 3 sub mental? Miky, kolik ti dali peněz?
Very chaotic.
Kolik si vydělal peněz za svou kariéru?
Into the spawn on north side will be wrapping up right behind Comeback, who's low on HP. It should be an easy kill. Looking at the map, at least, and certainly.
Nice.
When we switch to his POV, plant coming through, Killes is close, not expected, and he gets the jump for a couple of kills. A chance to defuse.
Na piču plant, vyhráli jsme bez toky.
What can Kreven do from this point? There's no way he gets towards the site in time. There's no utility to force him out of position, and hell, there's 2 players standing between him.
T-back. Mladý take proti pistolkám, to je paráda.
The player can't have been looking at him, because if he gets that kill from there,
but where was he looking?
Maybe he has taken damage, so maybe he was. It was just a whiff.
Maybe he timed it on the brim smoke. Who knows? Either way, Spike has gone down on the site. Yes,
nice.
And he will not let go of that control. Kreven again from the side catches a headshot.
1000 V-bucksů si dostal jen tak, Miky. To je za tu zábavu, co tady vytváříš, kámo, asi. Se smiloval na tebou Zentuky. Čo? Píči už!
It's not really been spotted yet, and actually Kreven has to be incredibly careful.
Nice, dobrý pinch.
That is a great start to the round for Enterprise.
Už jsem to fixol. Díka, to je chyba na tvojí straně, vole.
It's a good beginning. And they're not looking to give it away either. No for aggression. 4 players coming in from the satellite dish. Yes, ready.
Nehovorím, jak jednou si klikl v nastavení. Co to je za pozičku? Kde je? Kde se vzal tam?
And just like that, the round flips on its head. It's Killaz with a 1v3. He's picked up the first.
A má se koukat jako ten bot. Ten zasraný bot hraje zase vypo.
BBL Pacific right back up into it.
Leo, co má, kámo? Říkal nejlepší brýče, co měl takový level U a stříleli. Je jako scream, jak jako keznit. A nebo mluví jako, že o tom duelistovi. Že měl u sebe velmi dobrýho brýče. Nechápu.
Aggression coming through from Yas punished, but the trade is there again. Doma from further back, the drop out from Graven, though they're used to him trying to slide up behind them. Ain't happening today. Larocque 1v4, and after a lights out round in the previous, this comeback, so to speak, is quickly put to bed for Enterprise. This is what they needed. Again, the chance for this game to snowball in the other direction is in the back of our minds. They just got dominated on the opening
Makro, jedna z nejsložitějších map, co se řeší v těch tématech, co měli na snídaní, kámo.
They had 3 rounds there. And early on, putting comeback to bed,
jestli se jim down towards
the bottom of the scoreboard on the server as well after dominating every duel he went for previously. But that can only last so long. And for Enterprise, while he's being shut down, while these aggressive players are working before the adaptations come in, you have to hope that they will have enough of a buffer built up. This is a very weak round for the side of BBL. That Outlaw is shredding anybody that it gets its sights on, as long as the trigger's pulled at that time. A body shot, enough to kill, and BBL don't really have enough to fight against any of the other weapons in play. So, again, it should be a relatively easy round and one that builds up that economy even further for Enterprise. Nicely
to není v jiných titulech, v jiných nějakých sportech nebo tak?
Distraction from comeback, but it's met with an immediate shot from the bullet.
Já nevím.
A chance for Larocque to at least get himself a gun. 1v4 would be impressive, but they got to be careful not to give this youngster too many opportunities. He's always talented.
K tomu jako stopnutí momentum těch enemáků, anebo pokud seš Feinschmecker, tak to můžeš dát jakože na tilt ten tému, že ho dáš ty. Nebo že dáš timeout na timeout, a to jsem moc krát neviděl lidi dělat za poslední roky. Ale párkrát to udělal lidi ve Valorantu, že dáš timeout na timeout a zmateš ty enemáky, že jakoby oni se připraví na něco a ty potom dáš timeout a buď kolem něco jiného, aby na to nemohli být připravený, anebo jenom to dáš, aby si myslel, že děláš něco jiného, chápeš? Ale nedělají lidi. To je moc risky, že ti pak bude chybět ten timeout, takovýhle pičoviny.
Into a pretty awkward corner. That's the thing.
No, nemůže forpovat.
There is a player around this corner. You could not gamble with that plant. It's not safe from that position.
Tak těch témů tak může mluvit coach.
Starkey with solid positioning has been able to put this into an advantageous spot, but it does seem like the idea from Loiter is to go all the way back to the other side of the map, which as of right now is completely open for business.
And he's going far enough away, they won't hear the steps. So, you know, at this point, Annihilation Online, it could be an absolute disaster. Or Armageddon, pardon me. But that won't come into play because they don't know until now that the plan's coming in. But Starkey's got him. The pressure of the time comes rolling through.
A jestli nadávají Lotuse, pravda, to je pravda, za to, že jsem donutil našeho týmka se odpojit.
There's only 4 on the map, so definitely one weak point, although reinforced by some trap wires. Here's the information coming into play, and up close is comeback. Only one to be found. That rifle down, Rose catches Starkey. That's the A site, wide open. The only problem here is Kraven couldn't make it to the rest of the squad. I thought he was going to be caught by this push-up, but they wait for the ult orb. It buys him time. He's back with the squad.
První mapa se nestala, takže to vypadá krásně.
První mapa se nestala.
Spike planted, time ticking, and well, a bold attempt. They've got the finances to. Evan, there's a good opportunity for him to find those early fights, and while instead it was Danger Man and Hero of the last map, a comeback is already gone. More with this deep control, Griffin goes walking through. There are multiple scenarios. I think he's definitely dead to rights. He still gets one there.
Gas is in just in time with that operator, but he's smoked out. That's a big problem. Denying this plant could cause issues. Never mind. Swing into the open. Kill is traded out immediately, but that kill keeps favor in their hands. A push through the smoke from Rose there is ambitious, to say the least, and Loida barely avoiding that breach. Util gets a smoke down. Little angle to play off. He's going to try to catch someone just off the edge of the smoke, or at least he was. Needs to isolate a fight here. The trades will be easy in a 3v1 unless he lands those shots real quick, unless he's in a very wise position or catches them with utility out.
It's not just been a solo push, although this might be. Never mind, but I guess he can do both.
Unavený po těch Masters.
Na otázky v chatu některý. Little surprise factor with that early aggression. It certainly caught the side of BBL Pacific off guard. Killez, which way is he going to be looking when this player rounds the corner? He glanced away just a moment ago. Rose, okay, no weapon out on the clear. That is a dangerous example to set. Kraven's going to be shut down attempting to make a tunnel out of those cages. It does not get him to the site, though. It sends him to the next round. Comeback's waiting there, too. The last man standing, 1v5, and they know exactly where this man is, running at him with the shorty.
I think this is a map that BBL Pacific are going to have to come back to the drawing board, because they are struggling against.
A hlavně proč tohle to není streamovaný na hlavním Valorant kanále? Valorant EMEA. Není to tam streamovaný, ne? Za mě by to mělo být streamovaný tam teda.
Understand your own benefits in that way. My goodness, Rose is not having a good time. Taken down on the ropes, one player down, a big one as well. With ultimate online and a round like this, the value could have been massive, but instead a little bit of utility removed. Still the orbital strike for Loida, and with that plant, Rolling Thunder comes online for Larock. So BBL Pacific have quite a lot of that post-plant utility. And we saw this over on Lotus, where they would get super aggressive on the back of that, fake out the post-plant and play aggro. Not really an option here, certainly not with the control they have. And so Enterprise are able to get a foothold.
Že oni to nebudou streamovat, abych já se mohl koukat na clean feed.
Looking to isolate them with the Rolling Thunder going through. That's when Loida
a byl jsem na VLR.
Když
já nechci mít tady zahraniční diváky ani, to je geniální, tyhle.
And it could be a big danger, but it won't even be needed now. They know where Killers is, and the time is ticking for him to get this done. An ace needed, and Larock stands firmly in his way.
I don't even think Comeback has any clue that there's a player past the corner.
Well, whether he knew or not, he certainly reacted in time. Was suspicious, and that's opened up the door for Rose to walk up on Killez. A bit of revenge for the previous round. Comeback, though, is trapped. He's been stunned up, and no one is there to help. The only option is to move to that B site with the spike. Yes, it is. They'll move right on in. You got to be careful. Starkey just used those smokes as a tunnel. He's moved around the arcade, where he's now being spotted on his way up the rope. It won't be free. Stunned, and now they're dropping in with the shorty. Oh, it's Kraven to take the kill, but who knows? Maybe he saved his teammate an embarrassing death. A 4v2 as the spike gets planted.
Třeba ty pozdější zápisy možná tam budou, actually. By dávalo smysl. Takže dělali i s těma watch parties, no.
With all the utility still left to play with, thrown in to deny an orbital strike if they need it. There really isn't any hope for Zeke in this scenario unless they're just all going to run out for that operator. With the time ticking, I think even that won't be enough.
8-4, chat.
His way.
Killez over on A now, hearing those rotations. This is the whole game plan.
Rankedový overrotate.
Stepped off side. Here he comes.
Ježiši.
He's dropped down, but he's been hurt.
On posral silent drop, ale těžký tu ten silent drop.
Look at the minimap. All of those players that just left A are coming back. They're realizing what they've given up, but smokes are down. They're locked out for now.
To budou jatka, tohle, to budou jatka.
A little bit of time. The smokes do one better. And now the drop out of heaven should secure the site for the plant. 12 seconds left. Time is low.
Full teď BDčka pořádně. Clean. Clean. Děti ulice.
Immediate trap destruction just as it gets placed down, and look at BBL Pacific backing off, giving that space. It's Kraven who doesn't want to bite of the cherry. His entire team on the other side of the map. They decided to play retake.
Alešek teď podle mě na svých lowest lows.
Didn't work out for them. Now they're back to the retake. Look at this aggressive position that Yas and Zeke are in. Catching one stun comes through, and they can back off. Easy peasy. That's a free pick. Well, if comeback hadn't traded so quickly on the outlaw.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's sort of free. They still lose a part.
To je sračka, ty vole, ten spell, co? To je taková sračka, já jsem to tak věděl, kurva. Prostě to je malý, no. Prostě to myslíš ten stun. A kdyby to hitnul, tak ten stun je miniaturní. I kdyby to hitnul, tak ten stun je malinký. Klasika.
They looked most dominant when these came out. But let's see.
They've got the gamble correct for now, although they try and aggress, and it's just going to be the trades
going in favor of prostě je... Jsou šachy jak blázen.
To try and get something done here, trying to make a play. Which definitely worked out for them in the last map, but this time you can see, I also feel like Enterprise have done fantastically well to adapt to what their opponents
několik kol proběhlo na defendu těch BBL. Na defendu bys měl vždycky něco takeovat. A oni myslí, že zatím toho moc netakli, tak uvidíme. Škou něco ty BBL. Takeover arkádu konečně.
Coming into the second map, you imagine that pressure only builds and builds and builds.
Vypo versus Vypo. Já, ty hajzle nemají smoky. Právě, že Mickey úplně, kámo. Právě, že to je úplně, kámo, Valorant mapa. Nebo jako, co by řekl, že je nejvíc Valorant mapa, ale až jako do bodu už mě to sere, Bind je fakt humus. A Fracture jaký je prostě tak akorát, kámo, humus.
Zeke is not homed in on that angle on the smoke, and now it will be a 2v2. Plant in, Aftershock's gonna force him into the
tu mapu mám mega rád třeba, ale nejméně Valorantovým třeba feeluje Breeze. Když takové porovnáš třeba s CSkem, to prostě takovej...
Doesn't quite know where Killers is though. Now the
aim heavy mapos. GG 3-4.
The fight was quickly followed up just as expected. Doma.
This one is very much going to come down to much more
fundamental play. Třetí mapa. Mirror.com. Ne, ale on hraje Frenzy. Všimle toho bota, on hraje Frenzy. Potom, nice shot. Nice shot dart. Nevadí, kamo, bonus. Dobrý kill, ale jeden za jednoho, to je dobrý bonusu. Ty vole, to je dobrý repush. To je s flashem. O, bez flashe, sorry, kamo. Potichu! Chlapi! Bomba! Ne, on vysral. On vysral. Ale počkej. Má jeden život. To víme, že má jeden život, ne? Do tělíčka. Vyhranej bonus. Piču BBL. Jako na rankedu jsou určitě ostřejší. Ty piču Killers. Co, ale vysral ten Loiza.
This is looking like an absolute slaughter. The shenanigans of map 1 have quickly dissipated, and I think
60, teda 60, 88, v jumpu hodíš, ano, to vyletí tam jakoby na C, jak stojí bridge. Nekecám, jak to je jiný, vole. Vyletí tam nahoru, nalevo. A taky je God Tier. Jak jsem říkal, chlapi, to Ačko prostě, vole... Nevypadalo dobře, to Ačko nevypadalo dobře, no. Předtím na těch pistolkách.
This round may just go by the wayside. An opportunity for Yas. Both of the players who have full HP don't have full shields. So one bullet will be enough to drop him. Problem is, there's only 2 barrels there. 2 shots. And there's 3 opponents to take down. He needs great target selection. It needs an opportunity to be gifted to him, or perhaps
Taký kolo jsem včera vyhrál s Mikem
to
zrovna.
ring true with his double barrel of its own. Time ticking away though, and no moves from BBL Pacific. Nobody looking to throw this round away and gift it to Enterprise. It's the right call from them. You can see the shot quickly hit when he's given a chance, but the round was already decided.
He's waiting for maybe a stun to go into the back to try and help him out.
He heard the step. He knows there's a player there, and there's the confirmation. Target selection is perfect, and Kreven is down. Backside cleared. Great usage of the ultimate, not thrown through on a whim, instead used with precision. Lloyd does well to pick one up on the side. Garage is under their control, but the spike is already tapped and pressured.
Zasloužená prohra, chlapáci. Zasloužená prohra.
But that's not enough, and just like that, Enterprise are back to winning ways with play here. And we talk about using it with precision. It clears some angles, but doesn't find anything beyond that. Zeke immediately answers on to comeback. Quick kill, yes. Oh, he shot a body. Dolma is just cleaning them up.
To ztratili, ne? Co to bylo? Co to bylo, kamo? Bez utility, vole, na sucho.
Or this one is going to be a forgettable map 2 and 3.
Nevím, buď čekali, že forsnou. Když mohli koupit, tak šli kinda ty...
For BBL Pacific,
a nebo na tilt, vole, nevím. Netuším, kamo. Ale proč ne? Nejsem hater timeoutů. Jediný, když jsem hater timeoutů, když je spamujou hned za sebou, anebo když je dají na 12, vole. Nesnáším tam ty na 12. kole. Ještě ani jednou, co jsem to viděl, tak ten tým, co to dal, měl proti sobě ty, co mají 12, tak nikdy to natočil, že nikdy, ani jednou. Nejhorší tému. Si Warflash. Ale jinak jako, ať si dají lidi témouty, kdy chtějí, kamo.
Just look at the space that's already been taken. Gas has pushed all the way through. Zeke has now spotted another, but they're just attempting to try and fall back. Isn't going to find anything well.
Taking a pick, he might just have to fall back. Hold on, stun goes through. He
goes
through. Zeke wants to take the fight right to them. A confident base, and he's leading the charge with great success. A double opening. Rose on the side will meet the same thing.
Zeke
locks this one down. It's only come back in their way. Two players on the site, one lagging a little behind, but he gets there just in time for the kill. Beautifully played by
Enterprise. Not online for any of the players on Enterprise. The same can be said for the others. Almost have to wonder if a mistake needs to be made. That might be.
Dobrý začátek, tady Miroslav poskočil, vole.
Rose looking to try and rotate. Now the time has been ticking. They've managed to.
Kejčky, dobrý na retake, to se nedělal, ty kejčky má takhle daný, vole. To nebylo vidět na minimapě. 2v2. Smoke na bombu. Rip.
The most mentally fortuitous? I don't know how to say that.
Nice.
People.
Drift.
Yeah, I suppose. That'll work.
Nah, kurva.
Yes. Nice shot, I should
Trvá strašně dlouho, než se ti resetuje ten aim. Shock dart, ještě. Shock dart. Nice, shock dart.
Okay, there's one, but Zeke is going to respond immediately with a shock dart. Larocque dangerously low, Spike still on the deck, and they have to deal with Starkey, who's sat towards that long position. Dropping that Spike once again, leaving Kreven with another opportunity to try and turn this back around. Now he does have time. 5 seconds left on the clock. Doesn't necessarily need to battle forward into either of these players. Could opt to try and bounce out of there and start playing this one intelligently. Almost baiting the idea that he's fallen back and instead is...
Thunder goes through.
To je statement, kámo, že prý Bčko plantit nebudou, ale...
Pushes up as a response. I mean, it feels like there's something I'm missing to the usage of that rolling thunder.
I think if it's just to try and force them back, knowing that he was going to take that much ground, timing is going to be everything. The players on A telling them that there's nobody here. Instead, Yas is still in their backlines.
Nice za dva. Ale ten Zeke taky umře. Neumřel.
Maybe he can catch Zeke out. He needs to catch Zeke out, and eventually will. Even still, keeps this one in an even scenario. The defense not out of this just yet.
Yeah. This is where you'd love a rolling thunder to fight your way back
Ale
through,
na
but that ult
aftershock.
is gone. All of them are for Enterprise. The fight out of heaven with 2 dropping in. Still flashes at least to work with. They've got some of their own. On the side of BBL Pacific, LaRock gets caught, 45 HP, barely holding on to life. But Kreven inside the smoke. Oh, he's an animal and hard to put down. Drop out of heaven. Oh, it's getting nothing. They don't even cross the boundary. Not outside the window.
Zajímavé, si nevzali Abyss. Já, jako pistolky ne, pistolky ne, pistolky ne. Pistolky ne, on koupí outlaw. Pistolky ne, on koupí kukátko, ten bot, he. Já to nechci se dívat ani na to kukátko, že ho volím. Prosím, vyhledejte ty pistolky, ty vole.
A couple of players to deal with. This 1v1 for Rose could be everything. Timing as well is going to be pretty important. Killers is being wrapped on. Doesn't even realize how far the players have come. His teammate has sort of left him out to dry. Starkey was busy looking at that A side of the map while his sentinel with the spike was fighting middle alone. Come back with fourth. We can't afford to be seeing. What I will say is, I feel like Kreven is this like definitely the newest player on the block. He's been the most consistent throughout this series so far. He's been the sort of one danger, I think, when we looked at the last map. He's still been doing decently in this one. The rest of the squad have not been there in the same capacity.
They got a lot of information, but it's hard to execute in the back of it. At least
Co
it
to je
was to
zajatka,
start with
kámo?
for BBL Pacific. Never
Neviděl jsem ani
mind.
kill.
He quickly makes it difficult in the end as well.
Kreven, try and do what you can. Try and remove some weaponry, make this one costly. Maybe even try and get a sneaky defuse. This would have to be one hell of a gamble, especially now already tagged down to 18 HP and knowing that the cage would fail before he had any
brains in the background, but
not Bodog.
Oh my god. They come to his house.
Musí vědět, kámo, že tam na ně bude koukat, ne?
Bodork, that was not Mitch, that was Tom. Okay, let's just make sure that's reflected in the fine that he gets delivered. All right.
Okay, jeden za jedno je dobrý, ale
it's just to win that fight out.
To je huge
They
kill.
might think the A side's a little weaker as a result of that pick. It absolutely is not. 3 players quickly in position to take those trades if necessary. But Enterprise, well, they just pumped the brakes as well.
Půjde do 3, kámo. Nepůjde do 3.
It seems like they managed to get the start, but there always is that response.
Já jsem taky myslel, že skapej asi ještě, no.
3 players well placed. Stun will hold them back a little bit longer. 35 seconds on the clock, and they don't really have ground anywhere else. It does just have to be this push through, but
kámo, nechoďte skrz to, vole. Nechoďte skrz to, kámo.
It just has to be the run straight through, and that's never going to come out well. Killers, 22 seconds, a chance for an isolated fight, but LaRock just bounces out of there. The right decision, making sure that this has to be an impressive 1v2 rather than 2 isolated battles.
Kečku na CT.
It now just has to be a full stick onto that spike, but look at where his opponents already are. They send one in. It's clever stuff. There's no hope for him to even get this plant down. I was worried that maybe they send both, but well played by BBL Pacific.
Dobrá trapa na té platformě,
support, at least for now.
Tam se chytne na 100, vole.
Sell the ruse that maybe some space has been taken again. It seems like a narrow choke. A single knife is all that's needed and a single bullet for Loiter as well. That's 2 players dropped.
Attack side.
Bečko zadarmo.
They've avoided the trap on that A side.
Bečko zadarmo.
4 players were stacked up there waiting for them, and instead they have picked one side in which nobody resides. Utility is here to delay them though. With 12 seconds left, the plant needs to be found to try to buy them that space, and it does. The plant is found, and the kill on the back of it from Starkey. He won't find more, but it keeps it in a 2v3, a winnable position for this attacking side. Trying to throw a spanner in the works though. He's managed a triple already. But he's the one tapping that spike, drawing them out into the open. They now need to see it, and there it is. That's the information. They're not defusing. Time back on their side for the attack. Good trade out to
come on.
Finisher from Loida. His 4K has kept BBL Pacific hot on the heels of Enterprise. Have been holding on for dear life, a massive fall below them, but it looks like at the final hour they have found their footing and pulled themselves back up. LaRock goes down, but Loida is here again after a 4K. He's already up for the triple, back to back for Loida, and BBL Pacific hold strong.
Prospect, there you go. 3 players have been connected. But hey, LaRock goes, anything you can do, I can do too, and throws out his own.
I can do to it probably exactly the same degree. When it comes to that ultimate, nice stuff for Rose. There's the first found. He's coming in for a little bit more and does a ton of damage. An easy cleanup on Loida. He's seeing nothing but heads. 3 and another 4K for Loida, lighting up the scoreboard and equalizing it. And now pressure on for comeback.
No konečně do píči, netrouvněte to, ale kurva. Co to je za smoke?
Back in there with a kill. Starkey's pistol was enough to equalize. Rock in with lots of damage. Loida backing him up, and the site will not be seized by Enterprise just yet. Zeke, the only one standing, and it is a firing squad. Forget Kreven. One standing strong here. He's got himself a trap, but they're well aware of that. It's broken, and the dash in follows up. It's on the wrong side to challenge this, and there's nothing he can really do but play for that retake. Wrap around from comeback. He's not got the best weapon either, right? Standing outside that smoke with an operator in hand, but once it fades,
Bčko na retake s VIPem, no pojď.
This retake is going to decide
bez ničeho, prostě solo fight. Dobrý aftershock aspoň.
Despite Rose going down, though, comeback is on that side as they step out of back sight. The op is waiting for them, and that shot, well, technically not cannon accurate, but we'll move on from that. Enterprise, 2 rounds. It's such a small margin. It feels so doable, but the context of how we've gotten here, they look locked out. The opening pick, Yas, is the one to fall. It's BBL Pacific with another advantage. Paranoia put down on short as Rose steps up on long, waiting for them. Maybe not with the success, though. Enterprise find a pick, and then it's returned on immediately.
They have 2 players of sort of battled versus Kreven in this round individually, and note that he is still on full health. They have not managed to even make a dent. Aftershock utilized to force back Starkey. That means they have no space. As there's 35 seconds left on the clock, they're going to go sprinting back. The B site is where they've been attempting the last couple of times.
30 seconds left.
Actually, it seems like there is just going to be that hold. Smoke going down. It's realized by comeback. They're going to make a play into the site. He's just going to look to try and hold onto that B connector control, and Kreven just isn't stopping. Had enough of his teammate doing everything. There goes one more, and Zeke, he's not turned around. Eventually, the operator will come out. And more importantly, a job that was started on Lotus has been completed by BBL Pacific.
Kámo, takový fake hope, kámo.